Our first speakers tonight are Sam Schabacker and Sandra Lupien, two second-year Masters of Public Policy students. These students will give you an idea of how wonderful our students are. Sandra is a Michigan native. I knew that was going to happen. And I was going to say we have a bit of a Michigan theme tonight. That was Jennifer Granholm, in case you wondered who that was. She has a love of the Great Lakes. Sandra has had decades of leadership experience. She has worked in everything from a radio news anchor to a theater performer. Sam is from Colorado, loves the outdoors and camping and hiking. He has a decade of nonprofit leadership experience, working on political campaigns as well. The pair met working at an environmental nonprofit, and then they both came to GSPP, and then they got really smart. I think probably smart to begin with. But they got really, really clever, and you'll hear about their really, really clever idea right now. And so I'm really happy to welcome Sandra and Sam to talk about Sapphire Pine.
Thank you, Dean Brady. Thank you. Just waiting for Sam to grab that mic.
Good evening, and thank you, Dean Brady, for the very warm introduction. It is an incredible honor and thrill to be here with you tonight, alongside my friends, my former colleague, my fellow students, and now my business partner, Sandra. Now, as you all know very well, the Goldman School of Public Policy is repeatedly ranked the best public policy school in the country. And it's in large part thanks to the incredible efforts of so many people here in this room. Sandra and I wanted to share with you our perspective on why that is, the student perspective on what makes GSPP so special. The curriculum, the people, and the greater connection to UC Berkeley.
Right, and it's the curriculum that I was first drawn to at Goldman School of Public Policy, and that's why I ultimately decided to come here, albeit with a little bit of fear and trepidation. So, as Dean Brady mentioned, I have a little bit of an unusual background, right? I hadn't taken a math class since 1991, which, by the way, is before many students in my program were born. So that's a little alarming. So I majored in musical theater, my first time in college, that's me. And that was in Michigan, and I'm so happy to be here with Jennifer Granholm tonight. This is like such a great honor, and so happy. And you know, I dropped out of college after 2 semesters because I was frustrated. I didn't have the skills to start college, and I just wanted to work in theater. So I did that. I spent a number of years working professionally in theater. And that was until I became very interested and concerned about environmental issues. A number of factors led me in that direction, and I thought, well, I really feel like I want to do something that makes an impact with my life. So I started pursuing that track. I moved here to the Bay Area and was on a very winding and exciting path that led me through careers in radio journalism and environmental policy advocacy, and in where I met Sam, and that ultimately led me here to the Goldman School of Public Policy. Now, I finally went back to college after being passed over for a promotion at an organization where I'd been working for 5 years. I realized when I graduated from college in 2015, at the age of 41, I think, that I really wanted to tackle climate change, and I needed to become more data-driven if I was going to do so. And I soon realized, almost immediately, that what I was going to have to do is earn a master in public policy, and I was going to have to face my fear of math. Bum, bum, bum. So, I don't want you to hold this against me, and you probably will, but I almost didn't choose GSPP, and that is because, now please hear the disclaimer, I was so nervous about the rigor of the quantitative coursework. And I talked to a lot of different alumni who assured me, they promised me that if I went to GSPP, I could make the program my own. First of all, I could learn what I needed to do the work that I wanted to do, and also there would be so much support to carry me through on the part of staff, students, faculty. And I'm so happy to say that I took their advice. I'm happy to admit that I was wrong, and in fact, GSPP has been an amazingly supportive environment for all the reasons that people told me. And it's really an honor to be here among so many students who are bringing their unique backgrounds, right? All these unique experiences that they had before coming to grad school for the singular purpose of wanting to make the world a better place, wanting to make positive change in the world.
So we wanted to introduce you to 3 of the inspirational rock stars who are part of our program, in addition to Emily and Vernon, who are here with us tonight, who are some of the amazing MPA students. One of your MPA, if you all could just raise your hand so people can acknowledge you as well. As Sandra mentioned, it's really the student community, the caliber, the impressive backgrounds that motivate us every single day. So this is our friend Paulina Maqueada Escamilla. She previously worked in financial literacy amongst low-income immigrant communities. Now, thanks to her training at GSPP, she's on the fast track for a prestigious job with the Congressional Budget Office, doing rigorous analysis to increase her impact. There's Clarence, who previously got his undergraduate degree here at UC Berkeley. Before coming to school, he was incarcerated. He's now using social entrepreneurship and policy to improve health outcomes and employment opportunities for formerly incarcerated individuals. Finally, we've got Lillian Patil, who's in red here in the middle. She previously taught at a Title I school. Now she and her fellow group of GSPP policy entrepreneurs are pioneering ways to support social movement groups who are fighting for a better future across the country. When I looked around and thought about going back to graduate school, it was this type of story, the people that are here in this room and that I have the opportunity and privilege to interact with every single day, that led me directly to GSPP. See, before coming here, as Dean Brady mentioned, I had worked for a decade as a political campaigner. I run ballot campaigns, I had advocated pieces of state legislation, I had knocked literally thousands of doors in all types of weather. But I wanted to come back to graduate school because rather than fighting against something all the time, I wanted to champion positive solutions. And there was no doubt in my mind that GSPP was going to give me the skills and the network to do just that. And so I'm so happy to be able to say that it's this community of inspirational and impressive people that have pushed and encouraged Sandra and I to think bigger and more creatively and more innovatively to solve some of our biggest challenges than I ever thought possible. And in fact, what we spent all of our time thinking really big about is actually 2 things: pine and a mountain beetle. I hear a couple chuckles, so I guess seriously, we are the co-founders of a new social enterprise called Sapphire Pine. And what we do is we transform some of the 100 million trees that have been killed in California's historic drought into beautiful furniture and industrial timber. So rather than letting these trees rot or burn in the forest, releasing carbon that worsens climate change, we're repurposing them into a beautiful and sustainable solution. I knew about these trees from growing up in Colorado. I knew that the beetle that infests them and ultimately kills them leaves behind these beautiful blues and greens and golds. And in fact, I was so mesmerized by these colors that I built the entirety of my family's furniture out of this wood. When I moved to California to start at GSPP, I saw an even bigger problem here. So Sandra and I decided to team up and try to tackle this problem.
So for me, Sapphire Pine is not only an opportunity to work with my good friend Sam, but it's an opportunity to completely integrate my very diverse interests in policy, communications, marketing, art, nature, and design into this super satisfying, we think, elegant package. So I'm really grateful to have the opportunity to do that. And you know, while Sam and I have been working very hard on this effort in between, exams and problem sets and class and all of those things, the truth is that we could not have launched this venture without being a part of the UC Berkeley ecosystem, where there's just an unparalleled amount of support. So we want to spend the rest of our time with you tonight giving thanks to the Berkeley ecosystem and then pretty soon to GSPP. So first, Sam and I decided to incorporate Sapphire Pine last fall. We got a startup fund from the Haas Business School, which allowed us to build our prototypes. Next connection. We built our prototypes at the Jacobs Hall, a design center right across from the Goldman School of Public Policy. We then joined the Berkeley New Business Startup Legal Practicum, where we're getting free legal advice that helped us incorporate our business, that helps make sure we are legally on the up and up, and now is doing legal research to help us scale to really further address the scope of this problem. And this is an amazing thing that we have access to. Also, who knows about the Berkeley Skydeck Accelerator and Incubator? We joined that as a hot desking team last fall, and we have access to unparalleled mentorship. We've met amazing customers there, and all of this is possible because of the Berkeley ecosystem.
And so we've been having an amazing time learning about social entrepreneurship, wildfire ecology, public policy solutions to this problem. And GSPP has been there supporting us through every single step, which is why we want to give a round of thank yous to so many of the people that have supported us along this journey. To start, there's a GSPP community of students that I mentioned who have done everything from help us haul wood, to connect us to legislators, to pose as beautiful models in our product shots.
Aren't they very photogenic?
We want to say thank you to so many faculty members, including Governor Granholm, who has helped us brainstorm how to develop a beetle kill pine industry in the state, to Professor Jane Malden, who supervised an independent study for us during a critical venture last spring, to board member Bob Epstein, who graciously shared his time and insightful wisdom with us as we needed to think through some funding and supply chain questions. Thank you.
Thanks as well to the career services team at the Goldman School of Public Policy. I'm sure that you've all had the opportunity to interact with them. They are truly awesome individuals. So Kari, my career advisor, Leslie, Sam's advisor, Jalila and Cecile, they all bring incredible support. They share opportunities with us. They share their enthusiasm, and they help us make connections with alumni and others in the community whose advice has been beyond compare. We also want to thank Annette Dornbos, of course, and Bora Reed, who've been helping us tell the Sapphire Pine story in Berkeley communities and beyond. And finally, alumni continue to provide support, such as Liz Redmond Cleveland, who graduated in 2010. She now works for the city of Berkeley on small business development. She's been advising us just because she really cares about what we're doing. And finally, someone who's not in the room tonight, Martha Chavez, as well as, of course, Dean Henry Brady. These two have just offered support, advice. Martha even helped us select our name, Sapphire Pine, and in ways that are too plentiful to be enumerated. For all of that support, we are deeply, deeply grateful. Now, everyone Sam and I have met across the UC Berkeley community, and especially at Goldman School of Public Policy, is here because we have a shared interest in changing the world for the better. Many of the people in the room tonight are members of the board of directors and advisors of the Goldman School of Public Policy. You play an instrumental role in making this possible, in enabling people from diverse backgrounds, all kinds of interesting experiences, to bring what's unique about what they know into this space, meet their people, and skill up for their next steps, which involve changing the world through policy in ways that matter for the better. So for all of your support, Sam and I thank you so much. Thank you.